There we go. So, good morning everyone. When it is morning at your place, of course. Maybe it's not. Um, Let me check this. Yeah, this is better. Okay. So today we're gonna do another yoga class for about 30 minutes. And we're gonna take it easy, but we're gonna be a little bit active. Of course, it's morning, so we want to wake up. We want to wake up our bodies, wake up our minds as well. Sleep is always a state where you have different brain waves. Your mind, your whole consciousness works differently, and it's a very different state than being awake. So if you want to wake up the body as well as the mind, yoga is perfect for that, because you kind of have to be very aware of what you're doing while doing yoga, and that can help. Adjust the camera a little bit, but I think it's so. Let's keep that straight. Okay, we're gonna start in about 3 minutes. So everybody, if you're tuning in, give yourself some time to roll out your yoga mat, adjust anything you like, put on the right clothing. Like you don't need any yoga clothing or anything, but just make sure you have comfortable clothes, okay? So yoga in jeans, it could be, yes, if you're comfortable in jeans, but usually you have not enough space to move around, okay? It restricts you in your movement. But you can definitely do it, yeah, for sure. Okay. So, bless you. Okay. It's gonna keep it like this. Perfect. Okay. If you are comfortable on the mat, just sit on the mat. If you like to start on, for example, a chair, just take a chair, sit on that. Um, if you are comfortable on the mat, but sitting like this in a cross-legged position, could be very hard to sit like this comfortably. Use a block or a pillow or a cushion or a folded blanket, anything you can lift your hips with off the ground. That way you will feel that there is less pressure on the groin, less pressure on the hips, on the knees, and it's easier to sit up straight. And that's kind of it's kind of important to make sure that you can sit straight. If you feel you're kind of sunken all the way towards the floor because you're falling backwards when you sit like this, find another position first. You could, for example, put a pillow or a block under your hips and sit like this. Bring your feet towards the back and then sit like this and put the block in between, or the cushion. If you have a meditation cushion, it's soft. If you need something higher, just pile something on it. That could be easier because you don't have to open your hips that way, okay? Oh gosh, I forgot my mic. So sorry guys. Let me check. Perfect. Okay, I hope you guys can hear me. Oh, that was dumb. Okay. Let me check. Yeah, perfect. Okay, we're good. We're good. Wireless mics, they're really fun, but you should turn them on. Okay. We're gonna continue. Again, if you want to sit like this, it's perfect. Otherwise, you want to sit with your feet towards the back or on a chair, it's perfect too. There's no rule at all. The only thing you want to take into consideration is sitting up straight, comfortable, and it's very nice for your body to change positions every now and then. Because if you're always in a chair, try the ground. Join me here, I'm here. You can close your eyes. You can just breathe. Just take some time to kind of settle in here. Especially if you just woken up, you might be able to sit straight and comfortable because your body is still very soft and very warm from the sleep, from the relaxation of sleep. It can also make it harder because your body is stiff. You want to move. And everything you do, everything you want to do is fine right here, okay? Maybe you feel you want to rock side to side, or front to back a little bit if it's hard to just sit still. It's no problem. This is not a meditation. It's just kind of a tuning in part. And where you give your body some, basically some room to adjust to your time on the mat. Your mind needs some time as well. You're kind of telling your mind, okay, this is me time now. For the next 30 minutes, I'm gonna take some time to really connect with my body, my mind, my breath, without any pressure. So we have no goals here, results you need to get. It's just the movement. Okay? Okay. You can take your time. If you want to keep your eyes closed, just keep them closed. If you want them opened, take your time to open them, okay? Relax the eyelids. Try to open them slowly. You can just roll your head a little bit. Maybe you just want to roll it from side to side. Maybe you want to roll it along all the way with the chin towards the chest, with a circle or half a circle. If you don't want to bring your head up and back, it's very much okay. Sometimes it's very uncomfortable to kind of bring the head backwards. Okay, so if you don't want to do that, just keep it open, roll it forward, sidewards, and then neutral again, so you don't roll it backwards. Just keep the movement soft, so don't push your neck to stretch more than it does when you just roll relax, okay? Just make sure you're warming up. If you really want to stretch your muscles, make sure they're warm first, okay? Now they're quite cold, warmish from the bed, but they just feel warm, they're not actually warmed up. So it's very important to always, when you do yoga in the morning, if you want to warm up a little or take the movements easy, don't overstretch anything. Never overstretch anything, but especially when the muscles are cold, it can be quite tough. Okay, I'm going to roll the shoulders a little bit, just take them along on a ride, all the way to the front, upwards to the back, and down again. Take your time, you can do it as fast or as slow as you like. And keep breathing. Okay? Just try to keep the belly relaxed a little bit. And when you breathe in, you bring them up. And when you breathe out, you bring them back down. Okay, so you make this rolling movement. You can make it faster if you like, and just keep breathing slowly. That's fine too. Okay, that's up to you. Okay. You want to wiggle a little bit, whatever feels comfortable for you. You're going to bring your back towards, around back towards the back, to stretch it the other way. Stretch it all the way up once, just open completely. Anything you feel like doing just to warm up the upper body a little bit. And then you can roll over your feet towards hands and knees. Or, yeah, hands and knees. Okay. You can bring your hands forward a little bit. We're going into downward facing dog. Make sure you touch the ground with every finger, with the tip of your fingers. And you kind of hold the floor. That one sounds a bit weird, but if you just lean on your wrists, it's gonna hurt and you don't have enough grip. So spread your fingers a little bit wider than you usually do. Touch the ground with every fingertip. Roll the toes under and then bring the knees all the way up. You can kind of, they call it walk the dog. You can keep the toes on the ground and then one by one you bend the knees. So you kind of stretch the legs a little bit, one by one. You take the hips along. So we're just warming up. Make sure you keep your tailbone up and backwards, so you don't get all the weight on your hands, okay? So you try to bring the weight on your feet as much as possible. So stretch the arms out long, and you can always play in this position. For me, my hands forward is the easiest one. If you feel you have some pressure on the wrists or your hands or your elbows, you can bring the hands inwards or outwards a little bit. You can bend the elbows, very important if you have the tendency to overstretch the elbows. You can roll the shoulders in or out. And then slowly walk towards your hands. So take your time, just walk towards the front of your mat. And once you're there, you can hang a little bit, you can dangle a little bit. Keep the knees slightly bent. That way the lower back has some room to actually stretch. And in here as well, you can wiggle the knees a little bit. You have your hands on the ground. You can keep it that way, or maybe you just want to dangle and cross your arms. Relax the head. Just hang there. Take your time. If you don't like dangling, just come up. You don't have to dangle, especially if you have low blood pressure, but then always keep your head above your heart, okay? So never go into downward facing dog or dangling. Very important to have different poses in that one. You can just bring yourself a little bit from side to side. You can rock yourself or walk your hands one side and the other. Just to stretch the hips a little bit. And then slowly roll yourself back up. So take your time. Bring your navel back, let your shoulders and your head relax until you're all the way up. And once you're there, you can still feel some room maybe to wiggle. Anything you like. Okay, we're going into side stretch here. Bring your right foot over the left one if you want. If that's too wobbly or you don't like the knees going like this, just keep them alongside each other. Okay, you can pick here. If you want to challenge yourself in balance, could be fun this way. Try to keep the weight on both feet. Whatever position you are in, make sure you are centered and you're strong, standing like this. You can stretch out the left hand downwards and you can bring the right hand upwards. So both arms, both hands are strong. And then we're going to lean in towards the left. As far as you like. So make sure you can keep breathing. Okay. Very good. Try to keep the sternum up. Make sure the breathing is okay. Slowly in and out. Very good. If it's too tough, come up a little bit more. If you feel some more room, you can lean in towards the left a little bit further. Okay. When you breathe in, use your belly muscles to come back up. And when you breathe out, just let it down. Very good. Okay. If your legs are crossed, back next to each other, we're going to go the other way. So we're crossing left over right. We're going to stretch the right arm down, so we activate each arm. Left arm goes all the way up. So both arms, both hands are engaged. And then we're going to lean in towards the right. Just as far as you like. Make sure you can keep breathing, very important. However your pose looks like, whatever your pose looks like. It's not important. Breathing is important and the way it feels to you is very important. If it feels good but it looks ridiculous, perfect. That's what we're going for, right? It needs to feel good. You can challenge yourself. It can be uncomfortable how it feels, or you can feel like, okay, I'm working hard here. That's okay. Okay, that's what we're doing. But pain is never okay, and doing something because that's how it's supposed to look like, don't do that to yourself. So keep it close to your heart, okay? Breathe in, activate your belly muscles even more, and out. Relax the arm. Uncross your legs if you have them crossed. And then if you're not on the front of your mat, please come to the front. We're going to bring the right foot back. So lean in towards the left. Once the weight is on the left foot, try to bring the right foot all the way back, stretch it out, and once your toe is touching the ground, you can bring the weight along towards the back. Okay, so you keep control of the way you are going backwards. If you want to bring the foot a little bit outwards, your feet, maybe it's easier so you can turn the hips towards the front of your mat. So turn towards the front. This is tough on the knees. It sometimes helps to bring the foot a little bit more in, so the back foot is facing the front as well. If that's too tough on the ankle, bring it outward a little bit more. Okay, so find your balance. You can bring the hands on the back, on top of each other. Bring the tailbone under, so you don't make a hollow back, you try to make a straight back. Activate your belly muscles. Lift the sternum slightly and bring the chin in, so you keep the whole back straight, the whole neck along as well, and we're slowly going down. And it's not about where you end this motion of going down. It's about the motion, it's about the feeling in your body, and wherever you end up is fine. Try to keep both legs straight, okay? So if you feel that you want to bend the front leg, you're going too far. Come back up a little bit. If you have the tendency to overstretch, in this case the front leg, bend it slightly, so it's just like a centimeter maybe, to keep it activated. So you don't hang in your ligaments, your tendons. You really want to activate the muscles. Pay attention to the back foot, so you keep connected, keep some weight on the back leg, as much as you can. Keep on breathing, and then breathe in, activate again, come back up. And when you breathe out, release the hands. Very good. When you breathe in, come back to the front of your neck. Very good. Okay, we're going to do the same thing on the other side. You can just keep to the front. We're going to switch it up a little bit. We're going to come backwards with the left foot. So bring your weight towards the right. Once you feel you have that balance on the right, stretch out the left foot. Bring it all the way back. And then find out if you want to open your feet a little bit wider. For me it's a lot easier. That way I have a lot more room to turn my hips towards the front. And it's important because then your back is straight. And because we are going forward, if you have, in this case, the left hip open slightly, and you go forward, you make a twist in the lower back. And that's not what we want in this case, because we're putting a lot of pressure on the back here. So make sure the hips, the bones right here, they stick out a little bit, they face the front. Okay, you can always measure it that way. Those two hip bones are parallel to the front of your mat. Bring your hands backwards again. Maybe you want to bring the other one on top this time. Bring the tailbone down. Stretch out the back, so like a long back. And once you're going down, try to keep the upper back and the head in line so they don't fall down. Okay, so you're just standing like this. Try to relax the toes. A lot of people are kind of tensing their toes because they want to grab gravity. You want to hold on to the floor. But don't worry, the floor's not going anywhere. As far as I know, gravity's not going anywhere. So you can relax the toes, okay? Because you'll notice that if you can keep your toes relaxed, the whole pose will change, okay? The whole pose will feel different. Just keep your feet relaxed on the floor. Activate your body upwards, which means you don't hang in your legs. Keep the hips upwards. If you want, you can make kind of the scissor movement where you want to bring the front foot towards the back and the back one towards the front, which activate the muscles a little bit. And then when you breathe in, slowly come back up. When you breathe out, relax the hands. And we're breathing in, coming back to the front. Wow, awesome. Okay. If you want to, just close your eyes for a second. Take a deep breath in. All the way out. And try to connect with what you feel inside your body. Okay, so the poses are part of a process of becoming aware. And the awareness sometimes happens in the pose, it sometimes happens after the pose. So always take a moment to breathe in and out, once or twice, just to feel, oh, okay, this is what the pose actually does to my body, to parts of my body. And then see what you need, okay? Maybe you want to wiggle, maybe you want to shake your legs, shake your arms. You can do anything you like, whatever feels comfortable for you. Okay. We're going to eel pose. You might know it. I might do it a little bit different than you're used to. You can do it your own way, you can join me, whatever feels comfortable for you. Make sure you're standing firmly on 2 feet, okay? That's the first part. Okay. Breathe in and out. Just slowly make sure you're comfortable like this. And then we're going to bring the weight all the way into the right foot and the right leg. And once the weight is there, we're going to lift the left knee. Try to keep the hips straight, so don't hang on one hip, keep them up. We're going to open the arms sideways, all the way towards a horizontal pose, and we're going to lift the left knee. Okay, so this is the base. If you want to keep it like this, stay like this. You can always keep one toe on the ground. You can always keep the left toe on the ground. So this is a balancing pose. So find balance. Don't find the most difficult pose. Find your balance first. And then you can always practice more difficult movements. If you have your balance and you want to keep it up, you want to take it up, bring the left foot, left knee over the right knee. And you can bring the left arm over the right arm and bend the elbows. So elbows coming kind of together. Keep the arms long, the hands in line with your arms. And bring the elbows up. Relax the shoulders. Keep the shoulders low, activate the belly. It's a pose with a lot of technical things to think about. So take it step by step. See where you want to stop. See where you want to practice. Don't go overboard. The balance is the most important thing. Even here, if you feel, okay, I'm out of balance, keep your toe on the ground. Okay, this is perfect. If you want to come out, slowly, and I do mean slowly, so you don't lose balance while coming out of the pose, bring your arms horizontally again, lift the knee again, and then all the way towards the ground. Again here, take a breath, slowly in and out, try to feel what's happening. You might feel disbalance between the legs. And then you shake it off, okay? So if you feel like shaking it off, just do that. Don't shake it off first and then stand still, because then the feeling is gone. You did all that work and you don't feel it anymore, okay? We're going to do the other side. Bring your weight towards the left, and then slowly lift right knee, both arms. See where you want to stop, so anytime is fine. Right knee over the right knee over the left leg, right arm over the left arm, bend the elbows, bring them up, and just keep it there. If you feel you're coming out of your balance, like I did, slowly bring it back. Don't try to get back into the pose as quickly as possible, but try to do it slow. The slower you make your movements, the easier it is to keep your balance. So your mind knows what to do, but your body is not that quick usually, and then the balance is gone. Try to make the movement slow, okay? You want to come out, lift the knee, bring the arms sidewards, and let go. And breathe out. And you're standing firmly on the ground, all the way in, all the way out. Very good, okay. Join me on the ground, will you? And sit down. I'm gonna do it like this, it's fine. Bring your feet outwards towards the sides of your mat and try to make a long back. Okay, so you're kind of sitting up straight like this. If this is kind of tough, sitting like this, keep it like this, okay? So don't go any further. It's too difficult to go further into the pose and stay with a straight back. If you want, you can stretch your arms all the way out, up towards the ceiling, and then you can come forward. Maybe just a little bit, like me. Maybe you can go even further, but try to keep the arms and the back long. Again, you can stay here, or you can bring the hands towards the ground, on the inside of your feet, and stay here. Another pose is bringing the hands outwards, on the outsides of your feet, and you can bring the feet outwards a little bit as well. So the hands go on both outsides of your feet. And you just sit here. Keep on breathing. If you're very, very flexible, you have a lot of room in your hips and in your back, I cannot really do that, but you can stretch your arms out like this under the knees, and you can bring the feet all the way forward. So your upper body comes flat on the floor. I've seen people being really flexible in the hips, and that's okay, you can practice that. Otherwise, just step by step. Again, it doesn't make you a better person or a better yogi to make the pose more difficult. Only if you feel your body can handle a deeper pose, or maybe it just needs a deeper pose in order to feel anything, just go for it. When you breathe in, bring the hands up towards the ceiling again. Come back up. And when you breathe out, bring them down slowly. Very good. Okay. You can bring both of your feet forward. If you want to bring the hands backwards, you can do that. Just let them rest there. You want to maybe wiggle the feet or the legs a little bit. And breathe in and out. Keep the belly relaxed. If you want to wiggle the toes, you can do that. Bring your feet on the ground again, together this time. You can bring the hands under the knees. Try to sit up straight. You try to keep the back a little bit overly actively straight. Okay, so you bring the chest forward. So you feel those sitting bones, and you feel the back, the tailbone. Don't let the tailbone touch the ground, so only the sitting bones. And that's kind of going to be helpful in the pose, because you want to keep feeling those sitting bones while you walk your feet towards you. And if you have a balance, you can lift one foot, or if you feel all the way, both. But make sure you don't sit on your tailbone. So if you feel your lower back touching the ground, and you'll feel that because it feels different, then you bring your feet back, and you try it again with one foot off the floor, because then you can put some weight on your feet, and then it's easier to lift the back off the floor. Okay, so only sitting on your sitting bones. Activate your belly muscles, your feet, so the whole body is joining you in this pose. Always you can, if you want, you can release your hands. So you bring them forward, you feel more tension on the belly. Make sure you can keep breathing. So you can always release the hands, but only if that works, like if nothing changes in your pose. If you feel you're sinking backwards, just hold your knees, lift the sternum, keep breathing. Just a few more breaths, and you're always free to come out of the pose early, of course. This is your party, as they say, so whenever feels comfortable. Okay. Slowly come to a cross-legged position in the air if you're still in the pose. Bring your hands towards the ground, and then lift the hips off the floor. Keep breathing, and just lower them down, relax. Okay. When you're sitting like this, you can bring your soles of your feet together. Just a little bit like, bring the soles of your feet together. You can just wiggle the knees. Okay, just kind of butterfly your legs. You can hold your toes if you're leaning forward. So really would like you to sit up straight. Bring the hands backwards. And sit like this, okay? That way it's way easier for the back. And you can keep the front open to breathe. So you can hold your toes or hold your hands towards the back. Just keep it that, okay? We're just gonna relax the hips a little bit. Take your time. And then slowly bring your feet out in front of you. You can stretch them out and we're going to Shavasana, which is the final pose. You can take some time to, maybe you have another pose you would like to do in between. So it could be that you just want to lay down here and relax. But it could also be very nice to bring the knees in towards the chest. And just roll the knees a little bit. Make circles with the knees and then you feel you massaging the lower back on the ground. Or maybe you want to keep your feet on the mat and you want to rock your knees from side to side. Again, massaging the lower back. Just take your time if you want to make movements, otherwise just relax already. We're going into Shavasana anyway in a few moments, so don't worry. If you're moving right now, you don't miss out on the relaxation part. I would never do that to you. Okay. Make as many movements as you want, as long as you want. Anytime you feel comfortable, you come into Shavasana. And once you do, you can relax the legs, stretch them out in front of you. If that is too much for your lower back, you can always bring a roll-up blanket or 2 cushions, or if you have a bolster, one of those very long round cushions in yoga, and bring them under your knees. If your knees are up, if your knees are bended, the lower back will relax more into the ground. And it can really help to relax the back after yoga poses or in general actually. You can bring the hands on the belly, you can bring them outwards so you let them fall to the sides, and you could open the hands so the palms are facing the ceiling. That way the shoulders are rolled open as well and they can relax more easily on the ground. And especially in Shavasana, it's important that you find your own way of relaxing. And you can take a few breaths, maybe you want to yawn or sigh. Try to be aware if you are really relaxed lying on the ground, or if you are somehow, somewhere holding some tension. You're kind of keeping control over your pose. Could be just 1 or 2 muscles, 1 or 2 places, or overall. And it's okay. Don't fight it. Just try to notice it. And then maybe with your breathing you can relax a little bit more. If it doesn't happen, that's fine too. The body needs time to get familiar with what you're doing and what you want. Maybe your brain knows what you want, but your body cannot apply that knowledge. That's okay. Feel how you can breathe in and out all the way through the belly. So you might feel your belly moving up and down. When you breathe in, the belly comes up. The lungs are filling with air. And when you breathe out, the belly relaxes all the way down. Try to keep breathing through your nose. At least the inhale through the nose, and if you want to do the exhale through your mouth, you can make an F or an S sound, so that the breath is going out slow, so you keep control over your breathing, without pushing, without forcing, just to keep it slow and steady. and steady. And the whole body can become heavy. The whole body can relax. You give yourself a few more breaths here. And when you're ready, you can choose one out of two. You can roll onto your right side, slowly come up. You can just wiggle your toes, wiggle your arms a little bit. Maybe roll your head just to wake yourself up slowly. Or you can take a deep breath in and out. Activate your body a little bit. And then you can roll onto your side. Or you can bring the knees all the way towards the chest and rock back and forth and come up that way. Because we're having a very short Shavasana, both are fine. If you're having a longer Shavasana, always come back up through the right side. It's a lot easier and a lot softer for the body. So whichever one you choose is fine. Make sure you're ready for it. And when you're done, you can take a little bit of time sitting. Again, in any position you want. Take a few breaths here. Take your time. If you want to go into meditation, you can just turn off your video, or you can turn off the stream if you're watching live. And just go into meditation. Just find that position to sit in and enjoy whatever comes up without judging, without worrying about it. Just try to be aware of your body, your mind. And kind of observing whatever comes by. So we're going to end this session. Maybe there's something you want to take along from it. Maybe there's something you noticed in your body, in your mind. Maybe there's something you're noticing right now that you want to take into your day, into your week. A feeling, a thought, anything that might come up. And you can bring your hands together in front of your heart. And please take some time to thank yourself for joining me in this session. For taking time out of your day to take care of your body, take care of your mind, of your breath, your soul. And I hope you had a lot of fun as well. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me. If you want and give any feedback, if there's something you want to share with me, or if you want to ask a question, please leave something in the comments. I will always answer it or send me a private message. You can find all my contact information on my website, which is in the comments. Otherwise, I hope you're having a great day, having a great week. We're having another stream tomorrow morning, same time. And I hope you want to join me. And let me know. Okay. Have a good day. Just gonna come closer. Turn off the video. Ah.